Meanwhile, police disciplinary court has found 8 of its officers guilty of neglect of duty and disgraceful conduct that might have led to the kidnap and killing of the late Nagirinya and her driver Chitayimbwa Ronald. All the 8 have been reprimanded, and the second-in-charge signaller, Corporal Owana Simon and Corporal Chibikwamo, were demoted to the rank of constable.
Then we have Detective Corporal Chibikwamo Laube, was the officer in charge count at Old Kampala. Now this one was even found seated with his legs raised, and he was very, very uncourteous. Didn't give attention to the relatives when they came. You know, that laid back position.
And in what might prove the importance of security CCTV cameras, some suspects in their early 20s have been arrested with the help of CCTV footage. According to police, the arrested youth have been snatching people's phones around Kampala city suburbs.
Upon reviewing the CCTV footages for the last 2-3 months, they managed to track down 3 very notorious phone snatchers behind incidents of muggings, simple robbery, and phone thefts. That is at the Fairway Hotel Junction, as well as the golf course stretch towards Yusuf Rude. Basically, they indicated to us that they would target foreign nationals and also those occupants in government vehicles. They would still sell their loot at Cooper Complex. They have given us some names.
Ivan Kahwa and Sabira Andrew, UBC News.
19 homes in Nachiwulo Village, Kamuli district were submerged by floods following heavy rains. The flooded roads hindered Speaker of Parliament Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga's convoy from passing through the village. Nafuka Farida has more on this.
Residents of Nachiwulo village in Kamuli district have once again been hit by floods, barely a month after a similar disaster submerged their homes and rendered them homeless. Following the ongoing heavy rains in the country, 19 of the homes here have been submerged. Speaker of Parliament Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, who was passing through this village, witnessed the situation as her convoy was hindered from passing through by the raging floods.
yasingiza amakagona nagenda mwabamu ekanisa mwabamu n'omusigiti abo bavira mu irala totale nebintu byange byavunda emere buli kimu abana bamukaka omukazi yavaawo.
The situation has been exacerbated by falling pit latrines which like Corella.
Twaba n'obuzibu nti kairi amaadi gano agalegaine waliwo amatoyi gayidula amaadi kazambi yena yaira kungulu.
Meanwhile, Namasagali Kabanyole zone floods submerged 170 homes, and leaders in this village have expressed the need to transfer affected families to save lives.
Buli kintu kyona kifuire nga bumuli kubona tuzira numba yona abantu oti 17 numba daiwa amadi gatwaire.
Meanwhile, former Lord's Resistance Army LRA rebel fighters have been encouraged to aspire for elected positions at all levels to explore their potential in serving the country. The chairperson, Amnesty Commission of Uganda, Justice Peter Onega, says upon clearance by government, the rebel returnees are free to participate in politics. This was during the tour of returnees ventures in Gulu and Kitgum districts, a trip led by Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Internal Affairs, Dr. Benon Mutambi.
Because we have no work.
Lamentation after lamentation.
I can make a bricks, I have energy, but they should support that with iron seat, that's one thing.
Including complaints.
We also need some support, that's the capital.
But with appreciation from all corners.
Me, I came, I gave birth, I went to school.
Is characteristic of the life these former LRA members once lived and are now living. They were abducted, forced into war, and some into early marriage. But by God's grace, they found their way back home. For Lucy Awol, 1998 was the year when her life changed for good.
I was abducted when I was 12 years old. From there, I got into very many problems, like I've got torture in very many problems.
Realizing her destiny was doomed, she and 3 other abductees pondered on how to escape, a move that only saw her survive.
Then I said, God, today I want to go home. If you want them to kill me, let them kill me. Then reaching at midnight when people all are asleep, I get up, 4 of us, we started moving at night.
Her arrival at World Vision was a relief. But when she was taken to hospital for a medical test, she was found pregnant at the age of 15. She spent her gestation period at World Vision, from where Amnesty Commission found her.
Then from there they called me to get the resettlement package. After getting the resettlement package, they took me back in the community.
As prayerful as she had always been, luck came her way when the community willingly welcomed her and her parents took her back to school. She has since completed Senior 4, gotten married, and become a community facilitator.
The word I used to train the women in candle making and liquid soap making.
This kind of predicament is shared by 32-year-old Kidega Philip, whom we found at Unyama Trading Center doing fabrication. His return from the bush ushered him into a new life that has seen him prosper since 2006, when he escaped from the rebels.
I cannot say that we are useless. Through the Amnesty Commission, we have become useful.
Some returnees have ventured into tailoring, as others take on agriculture and small-scale business enterprises to make ends meet.
We were not having machines
because we were not given machines.
When we
were given machine, we came and started using that machine.
On that
machine given, we are now getting little money from it, helping us.
But because of commitment, they kept on. Up to now, they manage what has been given to them well.
All these have been made possible through the mandate and generosity of Amnesty Commission of welcoming back reformed labor fighters.
We are encouraging them to organize into formal associations, like community-based organizations, so that we can, look for them greater funding, greater support.
But as avenues are found towards addressing some of the challenges these returnees face, there are some questions. Is there a limit to what they are supposed to engage in? This question was politely answered as the Amnesty Commission chairperson, Justice Peter Onega, encouraged them to join politics.
The pardon that you get when you are given amnesty and the certificate that you get means that you have now been totally forgiven. Nobody must even point a finger at you. You are just like any other Ugandan. If you want to compete to become a member of parliament, feel free.
But how free are they to do this?
It's like somebody who has now been fully acquitted. Is no longer a criminal. So they can go in for a member of parliament position, local council position, if they have the qualification.
The Amnesty Commission was established in 2000 by an act of parliament to promote dialogue among warring parties. It has since demobilized a number of combatants, repatriated ex-combatants, and cancelled and resettled returnees. Henry Okurut, UBC.
Kampala Capital City Authority Council meeting has flopped following the failure of the clerk to authority, Ruben Kamoga, and other technical officers to show up. The council chairperson, Kampala Lord Mayor Elias Lukwago, adjourned the meeting to the 13th of January 2020.
KCCA council meeting turned rowdy when councillors complained of being taken for granted. The meeting was to elect the deputy and speaker of council, in which the clerk, who was a key player, was absent.
We went to the office of the deputy ED, Mr. Sam Selonkuma. We made an effort to call the director legal, Mr. Karel Mogesha, and the director legal informed him that they have just received the bill as of now, and they are going to furnish this authority with a written advice.
The Lord Mayor Elias Lukwago, who chaired the meeting, described the absence as wastage of taxpayers' money.
I can see you people, you don't understand the impact of this impunity here, because that is a demonstration of impunity. That Mr. Serunkuma is seated somewhere, he's saying, I've called the Caleb. He's in office. Isn't he there? He's saying, let those people talk, they're idlers. And you people are taking this lightly, warming up for positions. I sympathize with you. I really sympathize with you.
The meeting comes days after the President assented to the KCCA Amendment Act of 2019, which provides for the position of the Speaker with a mandate to chair council meetings. But the Lord Mayor Elias Lukwago says the Act cannot be implemented unless the date of its commencement is set or gazetted. Lukwago claimed to have written to the office of the clerk and line minister Betty Kamya, who he says had no excuse to abscond from the meeting.
When some of us were putting up a fight at the time they were amending the law to say we must have a district service commission here to take charge of the issues relating to staff, recruitment and disciplinary mechanisms must be handled by the authority. Now you can see the stuff you would reprimand now, because that is insubordination. Insubordination, nothing else. But we don't even have powers to reprimand a mayor clerk. Gearing up for other seats. Don't even have powers to reprimand a mayor clerk. A mayor clerk locking up a public office.
A group of councillors had reported that the clerk had gone on leave, leaving the office without an attendant. Councillor representing workers Robert Wanzusi Matuku blamed council for turning political and failing to discuss matters on the order paper.
The council has totally been rendered non-functional. This council you see here, this authority, people, we are just making noise here, but there is nothing that is actually being implemented. It is a very clear, systematic scheme to frustrate and ensure nothing actually happens. So we are seated here, coming here, talking about issues which cannot be implemented.
Sudat Kaye and Mariam Talimwa reporting.
83 people have been arrested in Nyakawande Trading Center, Nyakawande Sub-County, Kisoro District. Kisoro District Police Commander Christopher Hunde said the arrests took place during an operation against criminals terrorizing the sub-county.
A joint operation by police and UPDF in Kisoro has arrested over 80 Rwandese and Congolese citizens for illegal entry into Uganda. The DPC Kisoro, Christopher Hunde, confirmed the arrests.
Intelligence information is good, is that there are many people who are not known who after the exercise we arrested many people. 40 were Rwandese, 28 Congolese, and 15 Ugandans. So we have brought them here to the station for further management.
The DPC urged the residents to be vigilant.
In Nyakabande Trading Center, because we have been receiving complaints about illegal migrants and others who disorganize that area. And it has not been peaceful because of the people who are not known.
However, some of the arrested suspects told journalists that they have families in Ugandan side, Rwanda or DRC Congo. Last week, Grade 1 Magistrate Kisoro deported over 30 Rwandese for illegal stay in Uganda. But the practice still exists due to people having families in both countries. For UBC TV News, I am Philip Aguta.
With that, we take a quick break. We'll return with more details. You're watching News Tonight.
Money from Airtel to Airtel at 60% discounted rates. Yes, you can now send money for as low as 100 shillings and a maximum of 1,000 shillings. And that's not all. You can now withdraw up to 7 million shillings from your nearest Airtel money agent for Introducing Airtel Broadband. Enjoy high-quality home video streaming and seamless connectivity. You can also connect up to 32 people for your business at only 280,000 shillings with 51 GB free, valid for a month. And installation at no charge. Use Airtel Money today to buy any of our customized broadband bundles. For product inquiries, give us a call on 1004 Airtel and 0800 327327. Accessible from all other networks. Dial *185# and activate today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Hello, Uganda! We introduce to you the first and ever My Right to Play Christmas Kids Festival 2019. Let the kids feel the Christmas Eve on the 21st of December at the Legend Sports Ground in Lugogo. Entrance is 10,000 shillings only and parents free. Bring your child and have an opportunity to play, sing, dance and discover their talents. Mujje tuyingira amazaalibwa nga abato basanyusa bato bannaabwe. Muleete abaana bammwe banyumirwe, banywe, bazanye. Kino kigenda kubeera kijjabe. Proudly sponsored by Legends Sports Ground, UBC TV, Star TV, U24 TV, Star FM, Magic 100 FM, UBC Butebo, Marketing, UMC Victoria Hospital, and Ideas Workshop. Bw'oba oyagala omwana w'okuyimba kuba ku ssimu eno.
Did you know that 1,000 Ugandans get HIV every week? Did you know that each week 500 people die of AIDS in Uganda? HIV is still with us. In 2017, President Museveni launched the Fast Track Initiative to end AIDS in Uganda by 2030. We must stop HIV. The best way for young people to avoid HIV is to abstain from sex.
Why you had to have sex at 16, at 18, at 20, and then you die, or you start having problems, which you may live with all your life? Why don't you wait, hold on, you study, finish your degree, and then you look for a partner at the right time?
Protect yourself. Abstain from sex until you are ready.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Tonight. Now in business news, the European Union heads of mission in Uganda are on a 4-day retreat in eastern Uganda. Top of their agenda is to track the progress on infrastructural and socio-economic projects funded by the European Union and member states. This is in addition to highlighting challenges and agree on possible solutions to effectively facilitate implementation. Dennis Sigoa has an update about that retreat.
The European Union heads of mission have a very tight schedule in eastern Uganda this week. Of course, they are best here in Bale, but in the next 4 days, they'll be visiting a couple of places that include Kapchorwa High Altitude Camp as well as Tororo.
we will visit the park together with the authorities of the Uganda Wildlife Authorities. And then that is what I was going to say. We are going to see our dear friends, Joshua Cheptegei, William Blick is coming, the State Minister in charge of Sport and Youth is coming as well.
The program started with a meeting with local leaders from Mbale district. Of course, they've been having a conversation, and basically from the local leaders' perspective, they expect a lot of visibility from the EU heads of mission.
We have a lot of potential. We have opportunities which can be harnessed, but we are grateful that our friends have come to look at us, and we have given them what we are, and we hope that as they go back, they will think through it, meditate through it, and hopefully come and see where they can offer assistance.
Some of the major projects that have been funded by the European Union in this region is the Tororo Gulu Railway, the meter gauge rehabilitation that is ongoing, as well as the solar power project that has been completed in Tororo.
I just signed the contract for the rehabilitation of the Tororo Gulu Railway. A couple of years ago, we commissioned the second solar power plant. That was the Tororo. The year before, we had commissioned the Soroti. So there is something we are doing in this region, but I wouldn't really underestimate the importance of what we are doing together with the government of Kenya across the Malaba border post. That is a joint project.
In an engagement with the press here at Mount Elgon Hotel in Mbale, the EU head of mission, that is Ambassador Attilio Pacifici, disclosed the interest of the European Union to construct the Jinja-Kampala Expressway.
I met the President a couple of weeks ago. We explained the beauty of this project. The President said, I like it, let me go through it with the Cabinet. Among these selected potential concessionaires, there are two Chinese companies, one fully Chinese, one is a joint venture between South Korea and China, and two are European. So we don't really care about who will be running. It's the approach. It's to have somebody who will take care of everything, who will do the maintenance, the routine maintenance, periodic maintenance, who will be paying back money to the government of Uganda, somebody who will charge, according to our calculations, 100 shillings per kilometer.
Despite the few challenges that the eastern Uganda region has grappled with in the last couple of years, such as mudslides and landslides, the eastern region also has